Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Declan and in today's video I'm going to be doing a channel update just to let you guys know some changes that are coming to the channel and also just some little altercations that I'm making and things like that for the channel going forward. So let's just dive straight into it. So 2020 has been a pretty inconsistent year for me and I've not been particularly happy with this channel. Not in regards to the performance or anything like that, just in regards to the way I've been making content and the look of the channel overall. As you guys would know, I did a channel update not that long ago. It was basically, I think, either December or January to kick off 2020. And in that video, I said that I was splitting the channel into 3 distinct sections, one for movies, one for TV, one for gaming, and I was going to go with that, and that was how the channel was going to go. And while that did happen, and I did, sort of bring that into fruition, it just didn't really work for me. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but me personally, it just didn't really work for me. I didn't really felt like it was that great, and I felt like it was a wrong move for the channel. So since then, since I kind of had mixed feelings on that, I was kind of going back and forth between whether I should stick with that or whether I should go back to the more traditional style that I was doing beforehand. And I came to the conclusion that I should go back to doing a more traditional style because I think that works better for me, it works better for you guys, and I also think it works better for this type of content that I want to make. This kind of more fun, movie-based commentary content that I do. I think it works better for that. So I'm going back to that style, which, I mean, you guys would have noticed that anyway. But what I also want to talk about is, I want to talk about these new changes that I'm bringing into the channel because when this video goes up, hopefully you will see a new logo, a new channel art, which the channel art isn't that different, it's basically a different color, but it's still new channel art, and you'll also see a new thumbnail style going forward. Also, the color of the channel is changing. Of course, the channel sort of has always been red, it's actually now changing to blue. That's just a differentiation thing. I kind of just wanted to have that because I actually see, I don't really see a lot of channels, particularly in the movie space, being blue, and I think blue works quite well, so I wanted to go with that. So there are some changes coming to the videos as well, mainly the reviews. I want to talk about the reviews specifically. I'm changing up the format of the reviews, and I'm also changing up the approach. So in regards to the format, I'm going to be changing up how they're made, and I don't want to talk about this too much because there's not that much to say. You guys will just kind of have to see it for yourself. Hopefully within the next few days I'll have a review video going up, but it's mainly just I'm changing up how they kind of are structured throughout. I'm hoping to use a bit more kind of transitions and clips and things like that. It's difficult to describe. Again, it's something you'll just have to wait and see for yourself. But it's an idea I've got, and hopefully if it works and it looks good to me, that's sort of how they'll go. So structurally, they're going to be a little bit different, and I think they'll be a bit more fun and a bit more professional looking if it comes off in my head, as I hope it does. Or if it looks as good as it does in my head. And then, as I also said, I'm changing up the approach, which is that I've always kind of approached film reviews from doing both critical and enjoyment, like kind of merging the two. And they're very different things, and it's difficult to merge those two. So from here on out, I'm basically changing how I'm reviewing film. I'm not specifically going to be focusing on the critical elements of the film because I'm just not that good at it. I'm not very good at critically analysing film. That's not really my role here. That's not what I intend to do. There are much better YouTube channels out there who do that type of content. So I'd much prefer you guys watch them if you're looking for that style of content because they could do it much better than I ever could. So what I want to do really is focus on the enjoyment side of film, and more specifically enjoyment just from my perspective. I'm just going to be reviewing film. I'm going to be talking about a movie and just what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it. It's not going to be focused on the critical side of it because I always felt like, when I was reviewing film, I was always trying to tick certain boxes or I was always trying to fill a certain criteria. But really, it shouldn't be about that. It should just be about how I felt about the movie, just me talking about how I felt about it. And that's how it's going to be. So I'm going to be talking about, just purely, honestly, how I felt about it. And, that's not to say I'm not going to talk about the critical aspects of the film because, say if the cinematography was particularly fantastic, I might talk about that. Or if the score really reached out to me, I'll speak about that. But, if it's a thing that didn't have any effect on me, then I'm probably just not going to mention it. Or if it had a negative effect, I'll mention it. It's just things that purely are personal to me and how they affected me. And that will result in my overall score for the film. And that brings me into my next thing, which is the new rating system. I'm going to have a new rating system for films, and this will also apply to TV as well. Which is a new 5-star rating system. I'm going to a 5-star rating system, and the reason why I'm making that change is because I feel like if I am reviewing film purely from the perspective of my personal enjoyment, I think a 5-star rating system works much better for that. Because recently I have been rating things out of 10, and while I do feel like that works for a more critical analysis of a film, if I'm talking purely from enjoyment, I think 5 stars works much, much better. So for me personally, I was looking at how to do a new rating system, and for me 5 stars feels right, and it feels perfect for what I want to do with the reviews going forward. So a new 5-star rating system will be implemented into each of my reviews going forward. So to wrap up everything for the review section, I'm going to be changing up the structure of them, which again is difficult to explain, but you guys will see what I mean when they come out. And also I'm changing up the approach, purely speaking about how I felt about the movie personally, and there'll also be a new score which will be out of 5 at the end of each review. So that's the review side of everything. Also, something I've always done on this channel is I've always spoken about movie news, and while that's not something I want to completely eliminate, it is something I'm going to be moving away from. And that's just because I don't really feel like it's good content, because I can make a 5 to 7 minute video talking about a certain piece of news from, you know, the movie world, and you guys, you know, could basically get that same amount of information just from reading a quick news article. I don't really feel like my thoughts or my content, my video on that particular piece is particularly good content. I don't think you guys will particularly gain much from it. So I want to move away from that. Again, that's not to say that I'm going to eliminate it completely, because I may end up talking about a specific piece of news. You know, if I have something to say about it, I may end up doing it. But for the most part, I'm going to be moving away from that. So news is basically going to be taking a back seat going forward. And finally, as I mentioned earlier, there's also going to be a completely new look for the channel. It's going to have a completely different aesthetic. It's going to look differently. The thumbnails are going to be new. And, you know, for the first time this year, you know, I've been trying to find this new thumbnail style and art style for the channel. I've been trying to nail it down, and I just haven't been able to do it. But I finally have got it. Like, the other night, I was just working away, trying to, you know, come up with something, which I've been doing for, again, all year. I've been working away, trying to get something that fitted and something that looked right, and something that felt good to me. And I finally cracked it, and it was a great night, because I felt like I had achieved something. So I finally just, like, I stood up, I danced around a bit, and I was like, finally, we've got it. So you guys will see that. I hope you guys like it. Again, I really like it. It's for the first time in a very long time I've looked at a thumbnail and I've gone, yes, I like that. So that is going to be that thumbnail and that art style going forward. So I hope you guys like it. And again, aesthetically, the channel's going to look a little bit different, but I think it's for the better, and it looks a bit more professional. It looks a bit more also fun and attainable and attractive. But attractive, so I hope you guys like it as well, because again, it's the first time in ages where I've truly been like, yes, I like these thumbnails. So I'm really, really excited about all the changes that are coming to the channel. Just to recap everything quickly, new reviews are coming, again, changing up the format, the structure, and also changing up the approach, purely focusing on my personal enjoyment of the film. I'm also going to be moving away from movie news, putting them in the backseat a little bit, and then I'm also going to be focusing and bringing in a new art style and new thumbnail style for the channel as well, which I'm very, very excited to see. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this is just a quick little channel update, just to let you guys know what's happening and the changes going forward. So I hope you guys are excited as I am. And with all that out of the way and all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads from me. And I hope to see you guys again next time.